to Fiddlesticks and Stitches. I'm Fiddle. Today's project is dress and shoes, and as always, the list of materials is posted on Patreon. The link is in the description. To start this project, we're going to be using this pattern. You can find it on Patreon. It's free for everybody. When printing your patterns, use portrait setting, not the landscape. I used 3 different fabrics, a lacy bra, a leather type fabric, and a bed sheet. But for video editing and recording purposes, I actually made 3 different variations of this dress. I tried to keep the pattern as simple as I could. It's really important for this part that you fold that end over instead of cut because you'll need that length later for the lace part. I used an Elmer's glue stick and an iron to hold my seams down while I sewn the fabric together. For the leather type fabric that I used, I was worried about it melting if I used the iron on it, so I just stuck it down with super glue and stitched it later. The buttons I used for this outfit are the same buttons that were used for the stringing video to hold our dolls together, and then the female end of a bra strap and needle and thread. For the waist button, wrap your thread around the string in between the button and the fabrics. That way there's a bit of a gap in between there, so it'll allow for the bra strap clasp. Actually, speaking of bra clasps, that's the next piece to sew on. I dry fit mine over my button to make sure that there was enough clearance that after I sewed it on, I'd still be able to get it off and on. There is a tight fit for mine. Yours may be different, and that you can adjust with a pair of pliers if you need to. I test fit how long my straps needed to be by using my extra doll body. You can actually use the doll that you're going to be putting it on, so you can make sure that your straps are as long as they need to be. Measure, cut, and stitch on the inside of the dress, and you'll have your straps. For each one of the stitches and the buttons, I used a dab of super glue so that way they wouldn't come undone. For the shoes, we're going to be using super glue. It's not the strongest thing in the world, but the cool part is these shoes are really easy to put together, and as with everything else, so it's easier to replace if it ever does fall apart. You'll want to start by taking one of the strips of fabric and lining it around the rim of the shoe and gluing it down, but you want to try to make sure it is just that very edge. Leave the front part of the shoe or the toes end open like a sandal. Mark out the center of the half circles and of the slipper, and that'll guide you while you glue down that piece. And if you haven't glued your fingers together by now, then you're not doing it right. If you have, welcome to the club. And so you don't have to watch me do it, we will skip ahead. To make the shoe look a little neater and cleaner, take a very thin strip of your fabric and put it around the base of the shoe. Make it look like it has a little bit of a sole. When that dries, trim up the edge from the bottom side and you'll have some little shoes. The next project will be moving into the house, the entryway room. I am so excited to finally be starting on the house. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. See you next time.